What's up, guys? How's it going?
What's up, everybody? What's up, chat?
Let's see who's in the chat already. We got Mr. Godfo Universe. It's another gentleman with some very firm beliefs and stances in indie comics. Gotta appreciate that. We also have Zombie Boy, as always. Woo, what's going on?
I like the avatar.
Yeah, that is a cool one. So yeah, wanted to have a little bit of a unique indie comic talk session. There's obviously been there's always a lot of discourse around AI, but we've seen some crowdfunding campaigns, whether it's on the comic side of things or the novel side of things. So there's two different mediums that are pissing me off at the moment when it comes to AI. And then also, right, there's always discussions around writers versus artists or who needs who the most. And so we're like, yeah, let's have a panel of writers, one of which is a jack of all trades that can cover all those grounds.
I don't like that term, by the way. Don't like that term because what follows it is a master of none, and it's probably true, but I still don't like it.
Just gonna say a master of all, but okay.
A master of all trades.
I'm good at.
That's right.
Not much.
Salty's like if Doctor Who were American.
If Doctor Who were American. Thank you. That's funny. I don't think it's true, but I'll take it.
So yeah, thought we'd have a little bit of a discussion, try to get the chat engaged a bit, and yeah, just have some writers chat for.
So
for
what is it that you hate? What was it you said? So you hate? You're like, I hate it. What exactly is it that you hate?
Yeah, so I hate when writers purposely put AI into their comics, charge full price for those comics, no different than using, let's say, 75% or more 3D assets, charging a premium price, and then acting as if it's just this normal, true creative project when we know, they're obviously taking shortcuts. And it especially bothers me if it's someone that some folks consider a legend of the industry. And it's like, makes you wonder how much they actually respect artists, right? Because it's artists in a lot of cases that have helped pull writers up to the pedestal.
But
yes.
if writers wrote song lyrics, a lot of artists, especially the mediocre ones, would all have us believe that we come to the music for the lyrics.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest.
And as we know, there's always kind of a balance, right? You could have the best writing in the world, but if you don't have the art to actually pull someone into the pitch, your writing can be the closer. But for me, art is always going to be the opener. So you could have the best writing in the world, but you know what? If it's not catching people's eyes, it's not going to.
But is it the best? Is it the best writing in the world if you're not writing to the medium in which you're trying to tell that story, and then utilizing the best tools possible to tell that really well in the medium that you're telling it in? Like, are you a good writer?
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you there because that's one thing we'll get into in regards to indie comics specifically, where the writing doesn't always align with the art style, right? Because for me, like, I was extremely picky on who I chose to do my first comic issue because I knew I had to have a particular art style to match my characters and match my writing style. Just like if you were to just put another artist on Frank Miller's Sin City, it wouldn't be the Sin City we know today. And it may not even have been that famous, even with his great writing, but his art it married his writing so perfectly, right? But if he would have just went with, right, whatever, let's say DC would have been willing to pick up Sin City, but they're like, oh no, you just got to work with a mediocre artist. I don't think Frank would have accepted that. That's why he went the route he went anyways, right? But B, it may not have gotten in front of as many people because, again, that art style shocked people. Whether you like it or not, it had a shock factor. And I think some writers in the space are missing that shock factor. And yes, they might be good writers, but are they presenting the book in the best way possible? And yes, that ties into creative ability.
Well, it's so in my career has not been in comics. My career has been in entertainment advertising. But as a art director, creative director, writer, blah 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 blah, whatever. So a lot of writing though. And the way that the projects that really were the best projects, the ones that were the most successful, or just, you know, the highest praise or whatever, what have you, whatever measure of success you're looking at, and the most fun to work on, were always projects where you were really kind of working on a team of creators, even if it was just like two of you. Like, one of the things we used to do in advertising is we used to pair like an art director with a writer. So someone would be writing and the art director would be doing a lot of, you know, the art visuals, and they would be working in tandem as a unit, crafting a narrative or crafting a story together. And those always presented the best marketing campaigns, the best commercial spots, what have you, whatever it was. And I think that's the same thing with comics. Like, when you have a great writer and a great artist and they really work as a unit, I think that's when you get some of the best stuff. I mean, I think that's why like Ethan Van Sciver's run on Green Lantern with, you know, what's his name? Jeff Johns is so good. You know, I think that's why Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan, their stuff on Batman was great. You know, it's because when you could get Michael Jordan and Pippen together, or, you know, Kobe and Shaq or whatever. I mean, those might be two bad examples because they hated each other at the end. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you get rings with a team. Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry. Does that one work for all you Canadians out there?
Well, no, it was Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky.
They were on different lines, right? They were on different lines. So
those two were powerhouses together.
They were but they weren't together. They were on different lines, right? So Wayne Gretzky was with Yari Curry. Mark Messier was on the second scoring line. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I was really young when the Edmonton Oilers were a thing. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's the thing too, is just, again, this is my first comic script. It's going to be my first comic, but I'm learning so much just working with my artist. And it's not just learning from his style, but like being able to bounce ideas off of one another. Like, I'm working with someone that's really, really into Christian symbolism and pulling that into art. And just some of the ideas that he had for panels, for chapter break art, is just like I saw it, I'm like, that's perfect for the book. But somehow I had never thought of it. But again, just getting that idea and, you know, having that interaction, it's improving my book. It's improving the way I write. And sometimes he'll say something that just spurs some creativity with me. And then I have my own idea as a result of that. And if I just would have went to someone that it's like, hey, here's the script, and they just drew it, they didn't really interact. Right. It was just, hey, this is just a commission. I just need my money. I know my comic would have suffered. And that's why I'm like, I'm being super picky, and I want to work with someone that is going to treat it like it's their own campaign. Yeah. And they're going to want to be known for the book itself. They're not just going to want to get paid, you know?
Doesn't it feel like modern comics are kind of done that way now? Like, I mean, I'm not an insider on the business. Again, I come from a background where I wasn't in comics, but I've always been a fan of comics and worked on comic book movies. But I, you know, as a fan, as a consumer of it, I've always kind of seen like the decline being just that, like it going from being what you described with your artist, what you're doing, where you guys are really co-creating, you know, you guys are really melding together really nicely and complementing one another. And you're letting him have creative room to kind of take your baby and take it to the next level visually with his talent. I feel like that's what was so great about comics. And then that somewhere that got lost. We could talk about that later, like how that got lost. And now it feels very much like, you know, what you just described, which is like write a script, be very prescriptive of what you want visually, hand it off to an artist that isn't invested other than I'm going to get a paycheck that's like a shit paycheck.
And then another country in so many cases.
Yeah, and phone it in. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, I think this is the problem with a lot of modern comics, and what I find troubling with some of the technology being used, because I'm not afraid of AI. I actually use AI a lot. Not in my comic creation because I don't think it helps, but you know, on my show, the thumbnail I made for the show tonight, whatever. I know I'm rambling, but I feel like the technology is also kind of taking away from that, like getting down, rolling up the sleeves and getting really dirty and getting into the art of storytelling and just kind of like phoning it in and delivering something, because it's like it might as well just be a widget made in a factory in China for all they care.
Right. Well, so when you talk about modern comics, are you talking about all like indie and mainstream, or specifically mainstream? What do you mean when you say modern comics? Because I agree with you, but
I think both. I think mainstream and indie. Yeah, I've seen some, and I've bought some mainstream comics, and I've seen some and bought some indie comics, and I read them and stuff, and you can just kind of tell that the writer and the artist not necessarily in the same room, because obviously modern times you don't really need to do that, although it is really beneficial to be in the same room with someone you're creating with. But being on the same phone call, being on the same video call and really hammering it out and co-creating, you could just see it's like that this script was written and then it was given to an artist in Singapore. They don't give a shit. It's beautifully drawn, oftentimes, sometimes not, sometimes crappily drawn, but the story's not there and it's not engaging and it's just not moving, and you're just kind of like,
yeah. So the AI and the writer and so the thing that I like about buying a comic book from someone who has drawn it themselves, or from a 2-man team, because I'm a 2-man team, 3-man team, colorist, whatever. But the thing that I liked about reading your book, Salty specifically, is that when I looked at it, I knew that the thing that was in front of me came from you. It came from your mind. It was drawn exactly how you imagined it in your head when you were creating it in your mind, when you were giving it life. And I like knowing that when I'm reading a comic book, that's the case. And so in the case of like mine, when I work with an artist, my experience was very, very similar to the one that you described, BA, where a lot of the best panels were ideas that he had, and a lot of the best panels were things that because it makes such a difference when someone cares about your work, that they're invested with it, and they want, like you said, they want their name on it too. They want to be able to say, I worked on this. And you can tell, because I've worked with artists who they did artwork for me and it was just a commission. And it's very obvious that it was just a commission, because they might listen to changes, but they're not going to really suggest anything on their own. It's just whatever. And so my job as the writer is to try to describe what I'm visualizing to the artist in the script in a way that I'm getting across what I want him to bring to life, because that's an extra step. Like, I can't just put it down on paper the way that you can, Salty. But my job then is to talk to someone like you and say, this is what I'm seeing, and then have you bring that to life for me. And so I don't want to attack AI, but like the AI feels like it's an extra step, because then it's like I'm telling it to somebody else, and instead of him reading what I wrote and listening to what I say and then bringing that to life, it's then instead just putting it into a machine, and it feels like it's missing something. It feels like it's missing a human element, like a collaborative work.
It doesn't have a soul.
Yeah, really. I mean, honestly, it's kind of
literally. I mean, literally AI. And let's be honest. Okay, again, AI, very useful tool. I think that AI has a lot of potential in the future. I also think that there's a lot of pitfalls that we should be concerned about. But AI doesn't create, so that's the number one issue. AI replicates. Okay, so and so I think the issue with AI is not necessarily it's a tool. It's actually a really good tool. Working with someone that has talent, that is a creative visionary, that has a vision, that could actually do some kind of creation on their own without using AI, using other tools. Like a really talented artist, essentially. A really talented artist that decides to learn to use AI is going to be a formidable artist and somebody that you could probably work with and do a lot of good stuff. I think that even with what they create, there's still going to be a bit of something lacking, and it is that human quality. There is something beautiful and wondrous with the imperfections that we see in art. Like there's something wonderful about Van Gogh. You know, like he's not the best painter, but there's something that he captures the colors, whatever. There's something there, and there's an emotional connection that we can have with it. We as humans are incapable of having that emotional connection to anything AI replicates.
Yeah,
for a good reason. It doesn't have a soul, man. It just there's something spiritual about the creation of art. When we are creating as artists, we are worshiping God, and we are mimicking our creator who created us in his image. And thus we are creating. So there is a spirit. Creating art is a spiritual act. Whatever. I'm religious. You guys can call it kookiness. I'm kooky. That's, I think, the misconnection. I think the problem with AI is a lot of talentless people that have no capabilities, have no ability, that are using AI to compensate for a lack of talent, a lack of having an artistic eye, a lack of anything really. And they're going, look, I made something shiny and pretty. And it's like, to us, it's like,
well, I want to connect that to something that BA said earlier too, because like it bothers me when someone, because like let's be like realistically, financially, if you're using AI, then you should not be charging some of the prices that people will charge for. Like, it's crazy. Like if I had no cost for my comic book production is like then I, $3, $5, whatever. But then if I was gonna AI generate the whole thing and there was no real production value, I would feel wrong, like asking people to pay that. Okay,
counterpoint. So one of the reasons why you feel that way is because a lot of the AI that we do see is someone just typing in a prompt, blah 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 blah. Like today I did a prompt. I was like, BA, let me make the thumbnail. It'll be funny. And I was like, Mid-Journey, imagine, Deadpool as Batman, shocked and dismayed, and a bunch of, other things to make it look the way that it looks, right? Da-da-da-da. Okay.
And it was funny. I did like it.
Totally funny, right? Yeah. But there's no story. It's a goofy meme picture. Yeah. There's no way that I'm not good enough with AI at the point. Like I use AI to help with really mundane shit. Like daily mundane crap, like scheduling and a lot of stuff I don't want to deal with, man.
I use it to shop.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff that I just want to have something that I can replicate. Like it'll replicate, like I could tell it to do it once and do it, blah blah whatever. But somebody that's actually crafting a visual story using AI and it looks really really good, I will tell you that is going to take that person oftentimes twice as long. Because the AI is just not there yet. It is. So
it's really, really taking effort. It's just a different effort.
It's a totally different effort.
Okay.
So one could argue, I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate. One could argue that because of the man hours and the energy that it goes into crafting something that actually looks good
and is coherent
and is coherent and is stylistically, cohesive, and consistent.
Yeah,
that's a lot of man hours. Oftentimes I'm like, I don't even know why you're spending that much time. Like I remember I worked.
But have we ever seen a comic that is cohesive and
no
reads like?
Well, maybe we will on Kickstarter.
It might happen. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. It will happen.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I'm going to go on a completely different tangent because I have it in my head and I have ADD and I will forget if I don't say it.
I mean, I'll approve it, but I'm not the host. So
my biggest disappointment with the Chuck Dixon campaign is I kind of wish that he would just, marketing wise, and this is my, creative director marketing hat on, I wish he would just lean into they're doing AI. Like, I wish it was like the first thing that you read, like instead of it scrolling through the entire thing going, where's the notification that it's AI? And you don't find it until, it's on the fact, it's on the questionnaire. I think that they should lean into it. I think they should be like Chuck Dixon, legendary DC comic writer, is taking on a new innovative path in comic book storytelling with, whatever AI program that they're using, and just describe the process. Cause they describe the process a little crudely. And so the way that they described it makes me a little concerned that it's going to be any good, but hey, more power to them. I'm probably not interested. I'm more interested in people that, draw their stuff. And, I have my own reasons.
Same.
But I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'm going to be like, more power. I just wish they'd lean into it. It's like, lean into stupid marketing words that, you're trying a new futuristic, innovative way to for the craft of comic book storytelling.
Yeah,
You know,
that
from
would have been
legend,
clever.
from you know, hey, you could juxtapose the fact that Chuck Dixon's an old geezer, you know, and he's doing this really cool hip new thing,
Right.
and like spin it, you know, like in a Frank Miller, like it's, you know, it's groundbreaking. And I honestly, I wish they would just lean into it hard and let the chips fall where they may, let the criticism happen, because that's just more marketing for you. It's more buzz. And so that would be my advice. Like if I was like connected to him, I'd be like, dude, just lean into it hard, like really, really, really hard. And I think that's the disappointing thing, where it's like you're not. So I'm like, I'm suspicious.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Makes sense?
we'll tell you, but at the very bottom.
Yeah, for me, it's like, look, like for a writer who has made their living from comics as a result of artists supporting them and basically being a good chunk of the backbone of the comic, and then to be like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna work with someone that's doing AI. It's like, to me, it taints the name. It taints the legacy. If you want to say he has a legacy, I mean, he's not Frank Miller, he's not Alan Moore, and I'll bet you if someone went to Alan Moore and said, "Hey, would you ever use AI in a comic?" He'd probably spit on them. He'd be so disgusted. By
Are you ready for the hottest take ever?
So would Frank. Frank would be like, "No."
Zack Snyder's ending was an improvement.
Of Watchmen?
Yeah.
No, I agree with
Oh,
that.
I agree. Yeah. Everything Zack Snyder does is an improvement on things.
Oh, that's right. You're
We won't go there.
dude.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I am.
You know what, BA? I like you. Let's leave it at that.
But back to the point. So to me, it's like, it's kind of insulting to all the artists that have helped him get to the point he is in his life and have the fame and the success he's had. And he has a ton of connections. There's so many people he could have hired, and it seems like he's not the campaign runner. So okay, it's not his call probably, but why would you even accept that project? Like, okay, maybe you're hard up for money. I don't know.
Would you?
But why would you, if you're basically doing a ton of books for Rippaverse, right? You could work with so many other talented indies, right? Whether CG or not, but you're like, I'm going to go take this paycheck, but be tied to AI. And it's like, you have to think like, hey, this could turn fans away. This could kind of taint my image. But at the same time, it's like, man, like, why would you have that much disrespect towards the medium?
That's why
in
he
my
should just
opinion.
lean into it with like, I'm an old guy going into the future of innovative, creative storytelling. Like, just lean right into that, dude. Because otherwise, this is what happens, right? People start to wonder and, you know, have these ideas about you. They might still, but at least own it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do it, freaking go all the way. No, I am not, my God.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'm not a hater either, though. Like, I'm somewhere
good.
in between. I'm not one of these
I
people.
won't
Like,
kick you.
like I think the Henry Cavill casting as Superman was brilliant. I was impressed with this.
I think Henry Cavill has been miscast for every role, or misused. He's been correctly cast for a lot of them, but that poor guy.
Yeah,
I don't know. He can't catch a break.
I loved the fact that it was the first. The
Richard
Zack
and
Snyder
everything else.
Superman was the first time Superman felt like Superman. Right, the Richard Donner film is great, classic, great, wonderful story. But with the special effects used, you felt you felt very small in that theater, and Superman was very big. And then these two titans were fighting, and it was like, that was awesome. Outside of that, it was a shitty movie. I'm sorry. Anyway. I can say what I like about it, and then also, you know.
And look, Godfo, I will stand by that. He can't catch a break for being cast in something that doesn't go like downhill.
Yeah,
like, that's what I mean. I mean, it's just, I want him to be successful.
He should be
DC
James
films.
Bond.
He should be.
Oh
the
yeah,
DC films, they didn't go that well for him. The Witcher series, he tried too hard to make the series stick to the lore. I don't know. Because he cares, right? Like, because he actually cares about everything he gets cast in. So that's why I feel bad for him.
I will say, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League was obviously superior.
Oh.
Warner Brothers executives are terrible, though. And then the last thing I think I'll say about that is that Batman versus Superman was the absolute worst script I had ever read in my entire career. No, yeah, I'm sorry. So I went to
Was
Warner
it the
Brothers.
Ultimate Edition though?
I
do
don't,
have
I
to
don't
say
honestly,
that.
I don't know what version of the script it was, but I literally that week, I remember when the agency I was working at, that very week, I read the Deadpool script for the first movie. And then 2 days later, I went over to the other studio to read the Batman script, or the Batman versus Superman script. And the Deadpool script, I'd never laughed so hard in my life that I was crying laughing reading that script. It was so unbelievably funny, and oftentimes movie scripts are not written that well. It was so entertaining. It was like reading a little short story. I was just burning pages, and I actually started reading it twice because I was just like waiting for the other people to finish because it was so good. The Batman script, like halfway through it, I fell asleep. It was so bad. It was so bad, dude. I was just like, no. Oh my gosh. Oh, and there was like the point where I was all like, oh, your mom saves Martha. My mom saves Martha.
It was a beautiful scene.
Sorry. Anyway.
Makes me want to tear up just thinking about it. We better change the subject.
Sorry, man. I love them visually, though. The visual presentation is always eye candy, and I definitely think that he's an amazing art director. That is for sure, or cinematographer too. He's definitely
well,
he's
and that's the thing that again people always forget that he didn't actually write Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, but everyone blames him for the writing. It's like, guys, if you're gonna like get mad, that's like blaming the writer, on a Marvel book for the art, and it's like, well, the writer didn't like.
That's kind of the downside of it being called the Snyderverse, because whoever wrote it should really get criticism, and he doesn't.
I don't know enough about it. Like, was he able to handpick his writers too? Because Warner Brothers, the executives, it's all nepotism in Hollywood, and a lot of the executives, especially in Warner Brothers, are just. I mean, it's just relative after relative, and
it's interesting. So Nolan actually chose Snyder to do Man of Steel. So they wanted
right?
Nolan, I believe, to do Superman or continue doing superheroes, and he was burnt out after him getting some pressure on the Nolan verse, right? And he was just kind of like, I'm done. But he's like, I'll be involved, and he's like, you should pick this guy. I want this guy to direct it. You should pick him, right? And you should have him lead your universe. So they chose him, and then Nolan agreed alongside Goyer to write Man of Steel, and he also produced it. So he wrote Man of Steel with Goyer, which Goyer is a phenomenal writer too. And then for Man of Steel, he stayed on as a producer for every film. But Chris Terrio wrote Batman vs Superman, and then he also alongside Snyder wrote his version of the Justice League. So
gotcha.
But yeah, it's an interesting. Everyone just assumes like Warner Brothers just chose Snyder on their own. It was actually Nolan that was like, "Hey, have you seen, look at what he did with Watchmen 300, right? This guy knows what he's doing." He wrote it, and Terrio wrote one of the 3 Star Wars films. I can't remember which one, but yeah. So there's a lot of lore and intricacies.
Yeah, I could see how Nolan was getting burnt out, because that last Batman movie, that was not a good movie.
Such a good movie. Sorry, but I
have opinions, but I'm trying not to be right.
I'm going to say Tom Hardy doing Sean Connery was entertaining. I am the sexiest old man alive. I am Bane. I was formed in the darkness.
Physically, though, fantastic casting.
Oh, dude, I thought the casting of Anne Hathaway as Catwoman was
that was good.
Horrendous and terrible. Her costume was god awful, and I was very disappointed in that character. I actually liked Bane. I thought that was kind of an interesting take on it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that part. The ending was, I don't know what the hell that was. It was dumb. Yeah, it was disappointing. was disappointing.
I have problems with a lot of the stuff that DC put out because the like I don't care. I don't want to say I don't care. I do care about themes and I do care about overall themes of stories. I have problems with like plot problems that like it's insane that you want me to believe every cop in Gotham City all went into the sewer at the same time. That's just so stupid. And it's like when things like that are written in there, like that jars me so much because I'm like, this is not believable. So like when things like that happen, it messes up my immersion with the story. To talk about that particular film, because again, I'm trying not to like go off on a tangent.
One last tangent. I think the best thing that Warner Brothers could ever do is two things with the Batman. Is they take the animated series from the early 90s, Bruce Timm.
There you go.
Bruce Timm. And they take the three best ones and they recreate those as live action movies. And then the second is, I want a Batman Beyond movie. Give it to me.
Yeah.
It would be so shui. It would be so shui. Sorry, I love Batman Beyond.
I just want a Batfleck movie. So, but
you want you know what?
His script for that.
I thought he was a good casting.
Actually, did
Batman,
too.
And I think that he was better than what's his name?
Christian Bale.
He's better. I think
I agree with you.
After Kevin Conroy and Michael Keaton, he probably is arguably the best Batman.
I would have toned down the fight scene in the warehouse, but other than that, I thought it was perfect. Like it was like it felt like watching Arkham Asylum. Yeah. You know,
the
like
Armor
really
Frank
great.
Miller version was so cool. And like I was like very like, dude,
he fit the Frank Miller.
Yeah, it was great.
I liked the texture of the suit. I liked everything about it. It looked really good.
That script was just terrible. The story was terrible. God, come on. I was wondering if you could have a worse script for that. Good Lord. And then
Couldn't
the
have
Flash
a better
movie?
script than that.
And then the Flash movie? God. Just do the animated series, the animated one, the anime one, live action. Just do that one. Like if you're going to try to change things from the comic book, take the anime version and then do that live action. No, couldn't do it.
I'm excited to see who they cast to be Flash that's not Grant Gustin, because at this point they just refuse to. So I just want to know. I want to know, like they hate everyone wanting him to be Flash so much that I'm just excited to see who they pick instead of him.
He's not the best actor though. He's not.
And I know I'll get crucified for this, but I liked Miller as the Flash.
Wow! I'm surprised, but I'm not going to argue with you. But I'm surprised.
He's a better actor than the guy on the TV show. He's not the best actor, dude. He's really not the best actor.
I mean, I think in the sense that I think Ezra Miller does a very good job of acting like a human when he clearly isn't. I think he is a very good actor. Yes.
And also, I don't want any Dawson's Creek actors in the comic book movies. Okay, like let's Dawson Creek comic book versions of shows can stay on the CW or whatever channel it's on now. Thank you.
I mean, I don't think that the CW acting is good. I do think Grant was better than Miller.
I'll say that
he looked better, but he can't act. He's not a good actor.
Better than Miller.
Okay, so post Smallville, there wasn't a lot of great acting, but Smallville was on CW at the tail end, right? But it started on, what was it before CW? It was
WB, baby. It was the
just WB?
Yeah.
It was WB.
Yeah, but Smallville, the acting on Smallville was really, really good for a TV show, especially Lex and Lionel.
You think Lex Luthor, that first season, he's rough. He is so rough. He's so
caught on after
some of the lines that he delivers in the first season, you're like, dude. And then he also voice acted in a video game that I actually really enjoyed in the early 2000s called Gladius that was on the PS2.
Well, he was Flash in the Justice League cartoon as well.
Yeah, he was. He voice acting was terrible in that video game. Terrible. Not impressed.
I don't think I played it. So
pretty good game, but it's very long. Very long. And I hate games that are really, really long that are on rails. Like if it's gonna be a really long ass game, it's gotta be like Skyrim. It's gotta be open world, so I can just go and do whatever the hell I want.
Or Destiny. Yep.
Yeah, on this rail crap, but it's like a 50-hour game or 500-hour game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like
this 50 hours not even that big of a deal, but like that game was long. It was like, oh my
God. Is if you're playing a shooter. That'd be a long shooter.
Oh,
50-hour
no.
shooter.
Shooters are like 8 hours. You're like done.
Yeah.
It's all multiplayer. It's all about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
In that. And I'm not allowed to play those because I will be up 5 days in a row,
Mm.
obsessing over my kill to death ratio because I'm way too competitive for my own good nature.
Yep, that's part of why I had to stop playing Destiny.
Like World of Warcraft, and I got into PvP. It was like
Mhm.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
do anything other than that, and that was a problem because I had responsibilities and a job.
Damn those responsibilities.
Yep.
We got way off topic. Sorry, there,
That's
BA.
all right.
Yeah, so going back to the one thing I did want to touch on
Read the title
was
here.
Hey, Michael Ferraro, what up?
Hey,
dude?
Michael.
what's going on, dude? Yeah, like back in the day, right? You know, you had people in a ball pen, like literally together, right, in a boardroom, being creative. Like, I wish we could do that these days, right? If you could
That would be
actually
cool. Yeah.
make enough money to be like, hey, because I would literally be like, okay, dude, I'm gonna fly out. We're just gonna hang out, you know, for like 2 weeks. We're gonna, you know, but
I mean,
it's
it's
just not
yeah. I mean,
realistic.
I think that's something that like that would be something that I would really love to do. When, and I'm going to say when because I like to think positive, guys.
Mhm.
When we're at my company doing the multiple, because I got a second graphic novel coming out soon. Everyone should sign up for it. I'll put maybe post a link later, but
Yeah.
but I mean that would be one of the things that I would love to do is like get together, for like a work session with like a
Actual
writer,
workshop, yeah.
and do a workshop and like create something where we like work 2 weeks where it's like writing and storyboarding, thumbnailing out a story and then just going back and then doing your portion. I think that would be something amazing to see in indie comics. And that I think that story would have the potential to be something really good because I love remote work. Like, don't get me wrong. It has allowed me to leave Los Angeles because I hated living in California and move into the middle of nowhere in the country and have a lower cost of living and a better quality of life. But I do miss that camaraderie and that collaboration that really only can happen in person.
Yeah, and I mean, because that was the normal thing. You know, most of the comic book artists were right around like New Jersey, New York area, so they could just drive
Yeah.
and meet up, no problem. And I understand for indies, right? A lot of times they've got to outsource it to lower cost countries. I get that when it's a budget thing.
I don't think they
But-
should.
Well,
But-
I don't disagree, but I understand why they go that route out of, again, the fear of the cost, not getting the crowdfunding money and all of that. But going to the mainstream, they're doing that just to save money.
Mhm.
But you can tell that's where a lot of the decline is because you could have a really good writer, but you're not lining them up with a top-notch artist, or you have a great artist and you're lining them up with a shitty writer, versus back in the day, like you'd literally have some legends together creating something wonderful. And it's
That's
like
the thing that's interesting, isn't it?
ain't
Because
happening.
they take these activist writers and then
Mhm.
they pair them with someone that can make sometimes a good book. Sometimes they pair like the Amazing Squirrel Girl from a couple of years ago that looked like she had downs. Like that was one of the worst looking books I've ever seen, and it was written like ass. But like they actually will take an activist writer and pair them with an actual talented artist. But they never taken like there's no activist artists that they take and say, okay, you're really, really amazing. We're going to use you to make a book that no one's really interested in with this character that is a brand new race and gender swap that no one cares about, and it's going to be adversarial to most of our fans. They don't do that.
Well, you know
always-
why?
Well, yes, I do, but like it's just fascinating.
No,
to see it.
why do you think? I have my own. I mean, I may be wrong. I mean,
Well, I feel like I'm getting ahead in the discussion, but I feel like the reason is because they know that they can take someone who can draw well and put out art that people will see and want to buy, and they can use that to sneak in hacktivist writing because like that's like the perfect subversive way to do that. Taking someone that makes something look pretty with characters that people care about, and now we're going to slip in our activism here because we already got you to look at it because you like the cover. We already got you to, because you like Batman, that kind of stuff. That's what my two
They're
cents.
doing the same
It also
thing with
might be
films.
because a lot of writers that are, I think most writers that are activists, I would lump them into this category too, is that their entire careers have been riding coattails. One of the reasons why a lot of people in corporate America become activists is because it's overcompensating for no talent, because they couldn't get there on their merit. So they have to do the HR game where it's like, it becomes a game of Survivor Island, where they're like whisper, backroom, backbiting, like, blah, 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 like this person's racist, this is that, and that's how people get ahead on that. So they don't have any talent. And then a lot of writers that don't have a lot of talent, they're only in that role because they don't have any other marketable skills, and they fancy themselves a writer and an intellectual. And they're, it's like everyone else is so busy doing the actual work that goes into storytelling that that person that's played that HR game really, really well gets to then position themselves in kind of a position of authority, because they don't have any marketable skills to do anything else, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of I'm sorry, I'm really harsh on writers. I'm a writer myself, but a lot of writers aren't writers. They think that they can write because they're good at grammar and they're clever with whatever. And their teacher in high school and their creative writing course told them they had a lot of promise, but at the end of the day, it's like, they can't write their way out of a paper sack. And honestly, I really wish a lot of people that are, I'm a writer is like, awesome. Go get a job in a creative field writing. My advice to a lot of people that are like, I'm a writer. It's like, go write then. Go somewhere and write. Go write for go into advertising. Get a job at, in advertising, become, try to become a creative director, come up as a copywriter. That job's being undermined by AI, but you might be able to make it. But like, go write somewhere. There's so many people that are like, I'm a writer. And it's like, what have you written? And it's like, oh, look at my Amazon books. And it's like,
unless they're my Amazon books.
It would be like, but see, BA, one of the things that's great about you in indie comics is your limitation was you can't draw.
Yep.
And your other limitation was you didn't have a budget of, $50,000 to hire an artist to do the comic book, or at the level that you wanted to do, or you didn't have a relationship with someone where you could partner and split 50, go into business together. So you went the other route, which was really, really smart and intelligent, which was, I'm going to write a novel, which is actually, I made a joke earlier. It's actually very respectable, because it's like, that's hard work, man, because now your storytelling is up to you. That is all on you. You can no longer get it out with a bad artist or this or that. Like, that's all on you. And you went and did that with not one book, but 2 books. And then Frost, I think another person to take example of is like, he's got his own career. He's successful in that career. I don't know if people know that career, Frost, but I know the career, and he does well, and he makes, he provides for his family. He owns his own house. He's financially stable. So he takes the finances that he makes, he saves money, and then he produces his own comic on his own, and then gives it away for free because he's trying to develop a fan base, which I think both of your guys' approach is so brilliant and so inspiring. And I would advise all new writers or writers that want to write in indie comics, follow these 2 guys' example wherever they're at on the screen. I never know.
Thank you.
But that's me getting all my soapbox, because it's like, I think also my advice to writers is like, go, like, get it. Like, if you like, it's really hard to make it as indie. Like, God knows I know. Like, I'm not at the level of success that I wish I was at. I'm just going to keep grinding away, and hopefully I can get there. And I'm blessed to have a career and own my own business and do my own thing, and whatever. And this is just a passion that I want to be able to do for the rest of my life. I want to switch my career path from, being a successful creative director in advertising, and move it into comics, because I can now. I couldn't when I was younger. I couldn't afford to. I had too many financial responsibilities. So it's a passion of mine. But those that have that passion, it's like, it's really hard to get good in an indie space. Especially because getting criticism is going to be hard, because sometimes you don't know what criticism's good or what criticism's not good, and it can all hurt. but working in an environment where you have someone that can kind of mentor you, that you can have like a creative director that can kind of like help you get better, and then you have clients that'll give you feedback, and everyone around you is like giving you like a goal to achieve, giving you like, okay, here's the parameters in which we have to be, where we can be successful, really helps you hone your writing skills in a way to where then you can shift that into the wild west.
Yeah.
That is indie comics, which is hard. Making comics is hard.
It is. I think to amend everything you said, but I think that like I would genuinely advise writers to develop a sense of humor about themselves and their writing. It would benefit a lot of people greatly if they would just learn to laugh at everything and not take themselves so damn seriously.
And also, writing isn't easy. I don't care what you think. And if you think
it's not,
easy,
no, writing well is even
probably
harder.
not writing very well, dude. Writing is not easy. It is writing and then rewriting and then rewriting and then rewriting
50 times. And then staring at a panel for like 30 minutes. Like, do I word it like this? Wait, no, like that. Like, do I do this angle? Do I do this perspective?
Don't do that. Don't edit while you write. That's the worst thing. That's the thing.
I mean, it's hard to turn it off. You know what I mean?
I'm taking my own advice because I'll be like writing and then I'll delete. And I'm like, no, I'm like,
right.
Just get it on the paper.
Hang on a minute. That sucks. Let me go backspace back. Yeah, I know. Every time.
It's because I'm always like, I'm like, no, stop it.
And imagine doing that with a novel, and that's why and don't get me wrong, there were imperfections in my novels, but like I would do that with every sentence, every paragraph. Like which words do I want to select? Like how do I want it to sound? Like sometimes you'd spend 10 minutes on a sentence just because I'm like, I want to try to perfect it now, but it's just like. Yeah. Then you're doing that for 160,000 words. So that's why it can take a long time, but that's only because I gave a shit. Like some people just don't give that much of a shit. And then that's why it's like, oh, I can give you a novel every year. I can give you a comic every month, you know? It's like, yeah, but is it the best it can be?
It reminds me of that gag from Family Guy about Stephen King and the lamp monster. Like, you don't even care anymore, do you? Fine, here's the check.
Oh yeah, dude. I love making comics, man.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. It is fun. It's hard. It's frustrating. But I have never been happier in my career than taking this chance on myself to just tell this story that I've wanted to tell for a decade as a Saturday morning cartoon and turning it into a comic. To the point where I'm like, I'm like, now I got like so many comics that I want to make, and I'm like, I need to be successful because I want to tell all these stories.
Yeah, I know what you mean. In the back of my head, it's like, no, hang on, let's finish.
Yeah,
on right now first. Hang on.
Yeah. One thing I do know how to do is focus and discipline myself because I've had to do it as a freelance and creative person and professionally for longer than I'd like to admit because I'm old.
I think we're all around the same age, I believe.
No. I am much older than you guys. I just look young.
Same here. I don't know.
I'm older than Frost.
True.
I don't know how old Frost is though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Younger than me.
I'm gonna guess you're 39.
Salty. Actually, you are exactly correct.
For Salty or for you, Jared? You're 39. Okay.
I'm 39.
Yeah.
So then Salty must be 40.
Yeah. Exactly.
Somewhere around
there.
Or higher, but yeah.
Less than 45 though. My guess. My third guess.
Well, I won't ever divulge how old exactly. I'm younger than Ethan Van Sciver, and I'm older than Frost.
That's okay. Well, I'm the youngest then, so
yeah, there you go.
Put it this way, I've had a very long career. of doing something that I absolutely hated, which was which was entertainment advertising. Let me tell you, it was fun, but I did not enjoy it that much. And people are like, "Oh, it must have been so cool."
Like terribly creative fulfilling, was it?
Not when you want to tell your own stories. No.
Yeah.
Not when you wanted to do comics or animation. No. And it's like I was in that era where it was like all the getting into animation as a straight white male when all the jobs were going overseas.
Yeah.
Breaking into that as an artist was going to be impossible. The union was was killing all opportunity for new artists. And then financially I couldn't afford to like start at the ground level like anything because I just had way too many responsibilities and you know and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like advertising was paying good.
Yeah.
So there was times though when we worked on projects, like especially when I was working on like things like Jurassic World or Deadpool or things like that. It was just like it was a lot of fun. The problem was it was like 70 hours a week, and you were just like also like completely by the end burnt out, and then you're like, oh, the next project.
I need a break. No, sir.
Nope.
No breaks. No.
You get 2 weeks a year. It was just like, oh my gosh, kill me now. Yeah. Anyway, it was fun though. But yeah, I'm very glad to be in this new stage of my young life, living in a forest.
Yep.
Talking to you two.
Don't blame you.
Right? Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, I think, and going back to kind of indie comics and the whole, do artists need writers more than writers need artists? And, I think artists can definitely skate by on lesser writing abilities, whether it's their own or another writer, if, their art is beautiful. It definitely...
It's not just that the art is beautiful. I think that, and this is something that I'm like desperately wanting to improve on and very, not self-conscious about, but very like focused on getting better at, like, and trying to get better fast. And that is visually telling a captivating story.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just about, and I made a post the other day and it was a lot of writers didn't like it. I don't think a lot of people understood what I was saying, but it's basically saying that like, the success, I don't understand manga that much. Like I'm just not a fan of manga, and I say manga because that's what we said when we were kids because we didn't know how to pronounce it. So I'm gonna say it
depending on who I'm talking to, I'm either gonna call it manga or I'm gonna call it comics because it will agitate them.
Yeah, so I call it manga because I'm old, and that's what we called it when I was a kid. And I think one of the things that I'm seeing in manga and the success of manga is like usually the artist and the writer are the same person, and the art leads and the artist or the creator is kind of positioned as like the attraction for, especially for if it's like a new story, it'll be like this guy is drawing it, like because I pay attention to marketing trends and things like that. Like that's kind of my mind's always there. Not that I'm any expert, it's just I can't turn it off. But so I see that and I'm like, yeah, that's how it used to be in comics in the 80s and 90s. That's because I was a little kid in the 80s. So and then in the 90s, it's like I was like, that's when I really got into comics because I could make my own money, and buy because I had a lawn mowing job when I was a little kid, and I could go get comics with my dollars, that I would make, and they was push the artist, and the art. But what really got you there? So what got you there was the art, but what kept you was the story. But that story's visual. And the best artists are drawing the coolest story for your eyes to dance through. And the best comic that are drawn are stories where if you just look at it, you don't read the dialogue, you kind of know what's going on. You kind of like it's a silent movie. You kind of know what's happening. And I think that is the best. I think an artist that can do that doesn't really need a writer.
With I have a question about the thread because I was reading through it and one of the things that surprised me, someone, and maybe it was you, someone was saying that like Yu Yu Hakusho didn't look good or that various other things didn't look good.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, well, I mean, I thought it looked good. Like I like I think that one of the best written mangas that they've adapted into an anime was Full Metal Alchemist. I think the writing in that is
That's
beautifully
a
written.
beautiful book.
It's beautiful
those
top
are the
to bottom.
those are the mangas I look at. I'm always like,
And the story and about the brotherhood and everything and Full Metal Alchemist, man, that gets me in my heartstrings for real. And so like when I don't know, when I think about that, but that's the same woman that wrote and drew it, right? So but like when I look at the art style for that, I mean, I would say, yeah, okay, maybe Yu Yu Hakusho is not quite up there, but I didn't look at it and think, wow, this looks terrible. And I still think that like it kind of goes back to the thing that I think is cool about manga is that it's hers. Full Metal Alchemist is hers in drawing and writing both, and like same thing with like Dragon Ball and all the other mangakas, and like it's theirs. Like I'm seeing something that they put down on paper, and I think that's cool. And that's one of the things that I think is appealing about it. So when I saw so many people were saying, yeah, but the art's not that good, I'm like, well, I guess, I mean, it's subjective, but I didn't think that some of the examples that they brought up were really terrible.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so either. And I think what people get confused is when you say good art in comics, like what does that mean? And I think that means something different for everybody. So a lot of people, when they hear like good art, they think like it's rendered really well. It's beautiful to look at. It's the anatomy is correct. And like, it's, whatever. And for me, when I say good art in comics, it's like, yes, but the most important thing is the story quality. Is I like a comic that's got a lot of motion. I like a comic that's got a lot of dynamic fights. Like there's things that I'll be attracted to in it. And there's things that I find in manga that I think are interesting and other things that I think are weird and dumb.
Yeah.
But like, some of the fight scenes are really, really cool. And I think that we can learn as me as an artist can like kind of learn from and take from and observe and find a way to like incorporate in that to my own style. And that's the kind of stuff that's good comic art. That to me, that's good comic art. It's more about that. Like Jim Lee's a really good artist, but I don't find his stuff. I've never liked.
That's a really good example. Yeah. He's a good example.
Like I know Todd McFarlane was considered a terrible artist by a lot of pros and older comic book fans when he first came on. And I remember going to the comic book store because I was picking up all his Spider-Man as a little kid because I love Spider-Man, and then everything he was doing on Spider-Man. And I remember the older comic book guy going like, "Why do you like this? This is terrible. This is terrible." And I was like, "This is the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. What are you even talking about?" So know, art's subjective, but I think at the end of the day, it's like what I mean by it is like good storytelling, storytelling. And I think a lot of writers don't get the fact that the artist is a storyteller in the process of making a comic. And I think that writers that don't get that are making a really huge mistake, but also kind of showing us that they don't really understand how to write for comics, which kind of means they're not a good writer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like writing and advertising. One of the things that we always did was we had to understand what we were marketing. We had to understand who we were marketing it to. And we had to understand how we were marketing it. So the medium, like television, internet, print, whatever.
Yeah.
In comics, like I remember when I was first trying to write my comic book, I was getting with Mac Barron, getting his advice, and it was like show, don't tell, show, don't tell, show, don't tell, show, don't tell. It was like over and over in my head. It's like show, don't tell, because it's a visual medium. So you have to understand the medium that you're writing for. And like I am troubled by people that are like, I love to write comics, and then you talk to them and they're not even in the mindset of understanding the medium that they're writing for. And I'm like, that's like, it's not knowing your characters. It's not knowing your world. It's not any of that, dude. You can figure out all the world building while you write your good story. You know what I mean?
I read that discussion that you were having with somebody about that. And that felt like a weird point for him to make, that you have to know your character first. And it's like, well, not when you're writing the script, like that's kind of a weird, I don't know. That was a weird tangent that,
I wouldn't agree with that. I would be like, I don't know.
Be able to depict them.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, you got to know but also for me, when I'm writing, I'm building that character. Like I have an idea in my mind, but I want to tell the story. I want to get to the story. And then I want to I think, I guess it's just a matter of discipline, you know, like it's a matter of, I guess maybe you do need to know your character, or at least have a good idea about your character. But I'm like, I
You have to know how to
discover that.
show.
Yeah,
You have
I'd
to
like to
show.
discover that in the process of writing it. And
Mhm.
then that's part of the editing process, right? You read it and you're like, ooh, that's an inconsistent decision that this character would not make.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's really, really helpful to have like friends like you guys, like Frost. I sent him, you know, my comic and was like, please read this, give me your feedback, you know. And he had a couple ideas, and I was like, I don't disagree. Let me figure out a way to make some adjustments. And I did, and I think it made the story that much better. And everyone's going to be getting that story shortly, as soon as I can figure out my issues with my printer. But yeah, and I'm really excited about it. And I think that for me, it's, you know, the number one thing is understanding the medium in which you are, like, because like when you're writing a novel, you got to understand that I have to be painting a picture with words.
And it's exhausting. Versus a comic, it's like, it's so nice to be able to just explain it shortly to an artist and have that confidence that they're literally going to paint that picture for you.
I want to ask you, BA, about with writing your comic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fall into the trap of writing too much dialogue often?
You know what? Not really.
I've struggled with that myself. I wanted to ask.
At first, it was tough because I'm like, how the hell do I trim this? Right. How do I consolidate this? I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
But
how do I take a hatchet to it, because it's a big ass book?
The balloon is this big, and it's like, okay, so you can see them down here. This is all text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, and I get shit for it, but like I'm very, very picky on which books I'm consuming right now. Like I'm not just consuming for fun or enjoyment. I don't want surface level superhero cape shit. Like that's why, like, I'm primarily focusing on like Alan Moore works, Frank Miller works, because they both have their own style and their own proficiencies, right? And what really helped me with the dialogue part of it was Frank Miller's writing, especially Sin City, Dark Knight, because he was so good at being very concise and snappy with his dialogue. But what he used was internal monologue and then the art, right, to show, right, especially on the art side of things. And that's why one thing I think a lot of writers miss on the comic side of things, and let's focus on indie, I guess, is they're not even getting down to the detail of, right, facial expressions, right? Great example is ISOM, right? But we know there's like 3D assets and whatnot, but half the book, or most of the book, his eyes are closed. Dude, you can use those eyes
decisions to
right,
not
like you
show
can
his eyes.
you can use those eyes to, you know, express anger, to express sadness, right? Every panel I'm trying to tell my artist, like, hey, his eyes are like this because he's feeling this. You know, his mouth is, you know, he's got a smirk versus this, or really, really paint the picture so that you don't have to use that inner monologue or that dialogue to express that, hey, he's pissed off. No. Or he's sad. It's like, no, you can do it extremely briefly because it's in the picture. And I think one thing that's missing a lot in a lot of comics is utilizing inner monologue to really get into the head of the character, into the head of the POV, because there's so much dialogue and they're relying so much on the art that sometimes you can't really tell like what their inner emotions are. Like, you know, when they get hit in the ribs, like you can very easily inner monologue, you know, like I love one of the inner monologues that Miller uses, like, you know, when he got, you know, punched, so it was like an atom bomb went off in his gut. Like that's just a sentence, but it really makes it impactful versus like, oh, did he just show a punch? Well, did that punch just impact him a little, or did it like really, you know, fuck him up essentially? So yeah, it's like, what writers need to do is really make sure that they're portraying to their artists what that that character is feeling
Mm-hmm.
and what they're actually experiencing. And yeah, I think a lot of times it's too surface level. Like, oh, they get hit, they get knocked down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're angry, and then you're fully relying on the artist to decide for themselves to what level.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you need to help them with that, right? And then have that interaction and bounce off,
That's why
concepts and ideas.
That's why, like when I was like working like as a creative director and working with other like creatives and especially writers and stuff, one of the things I would tell them is like take an acting class, take a comedy class, like because that will help you writing your dialogue, writing the monologue stuff, and then at me for an artist. It actually helps me, and it's something that again I want to get better at as I grow as a comic book artist because it's just a different art form. And it's the gestures, because it's not even the facial expressions. Sometimes it's like, because I think that's one thing I love about Frank Miller is like Sin City, like he'll have full on silhouettes and exactly what that guy's feeling because he's walking down the street and he's hunched over and his hands are buried into the trench coat, and it's like you don't even need to see any dialogue. You just know that guy is having a shit ass day and he's freaking miserable because he's out in the rain and he's and you don't even see any facial expression. So it's like, and that's something that was great about working at Disney for a long time and taking life drawing classes and stuff like that. It was like gesture drawing. And I was like trying to capture like, flamboyant, poses really quickly. And it's, I think that's like what you're talking about. I think that's something that definitely, for me, I'm like writing dialogue. I have to go back to acting classes and be like, yeah, let me pull those out. Let me pull out that character. Let me put that character's hat on. Cause that's like the key for me on being able to do a lot of that, what you're describing, like, emotions and things like that is like, I actually have to in my mind. And sometimes out loud in my studio looking like a crazy person. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm a weirdo right now. She's like, okay, I'll leave you alone. Sorry. Because I'm acting out the scene because I'm trying to get the voice of, one of my characters.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to talk like this because she's a girl. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
The other thing that, and this could just be a personal preference or something that I enjoy, and this is just a result of watching a lot of films and rewatching them countless times, is, also having an understanding of like the perspectives that you are imagining in your head. And like, I would say the camera angle, right? Like, because if you don't relay that to the artist, again, they have to kind of guess. And they're not in your head. And then you could result in, breaking the 180 rule, or you could just, if the artist isn't very experienced, you could just have straight shots all the time, right? No bird's eye view, no shots from the ground. Like I like to have it be, I like it to change a decent amount from panel to panel. So it's not just really static and boring. You know what I mean? It feels a little bit more like a movie would, but I kind of, looking at some of the indie comics, I have a feeling that that's not even in their mind when they're writing the script. It's just like, oh, this guy's standing next to this guy, they're facing this guy, but where's the angle? Like where's the reader's POV, right?
Yeah.
And are you experimenting with things like, hey, they're actually in the eyes of this character, or they're behind, you're using a silhouette, things like that. Now, some of that's going to be just experience, but a lot of it you can just pick up from reading, again, different types of writers, different types of artists, and just kind of figuring out like which style or mixture of styles like works for my story, right? And my characters versus just, I'm just going to write the script and not try to learn from different examples. And you do have people too, like especially in the novel space, you're like, you just got to read X amount of books. You just got to read novels. It's like, no, read comics.
Yeah.
It'll help you learn how to have like a fast paced like fighting scene. It'll help you learn how to relay visuals through text, through dialogue, but also watch films. Because again, the angles and all the acting and all that.
You know what I found is helping. So other than the books, like I think the ink books are really good. Is that what they're called? I always have it on my desk because I'm always referencing it. Yeah, these guys, framed ink. Like that and the Marvel, how to draw the Marvel way is like my Bible because I don't know what I'm doing. I have talent, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm phoning it. I'm winging it, guys. I'm doing it live. Fuck it, I'll do it live. But one of the things that I really really love is I have a lot of art books from movies that I love, and they always put the storyboards in there. That is some good learning. Even though it's it's always like horizontal frame, and you got to take some liberties when you're doing a comic book because you're dealing with a vertical kind of format and all that, but you can get creative. But yeah, I love art books with storyboards in them because movies are a lot of good movies are great. People probably will be able to pick up some of the movies I'm getting inspired from, usually a Sergio Leone film or a Akira Kurosawa film or John Ford film, but stuff like that. I don't care because it's not theft if you use a lot of different reference.
Right, yeah.
The more reference you use, the less likely it looks like you stole it.
Well, and that's the other thing too is leaning into reference photos, from films, from TV, from comics. Like it literally you can give your artist like, I want this exact angle. Right? I want them to be standing just like this. I want
you're one of
POV.
those.
But
you're one of those.
I always reiterate, like, but if you have ideas or if you have a suggestion, like, let me know. Like this, nothing I do in the script is set in stone. I'm not saying any of this has to happen in this way. This is just what's coming out initially.
So you're one of those.
I do the exact same thing. At the start of my script, I put the exact same thing that I want the artist to know this is collaborative. And then I re-emphasize that on specific pages and panels where I'm thinking, if this is my idea, but you might have something better. But I have to ask you guys because I've been wanting to for a few minutes, but then you said that, so I have to ask you. From this perspective of writer and artist, what do you guys think, especially since you have been researching Alan Moore's works, what do you think of his scripts?
I actually was thinking of bringing that up as well.
Yeah, okay, great.
Because he would actually, they would be like pages and pages of text description, right? Even with panel layouts, storyboards,
every single small detail. Yeah,
I think.
Katie did. What's up, girl?
Hey, Katie.
I think for someone like him, it makes sense because I do think he's a literary genius.
Sure.
Hands down. And he is a visionary. And there are certain directors where I would say the same thing. Snyder does his own storyboards. And like you said, visually, the guy gets it. He really gets it. Nolan, same thing. Like that's why he writes and directs his own movies. Like he has that ability. And I think Moore is one of those guys that he can visualize it to where he could have an artist just literally just take everything he's put and just lay it down. Some artists would hate that because they want that creative freedom, right? But others might just be like, hey, this is great. I can just get paid, but it's a lot of work to read and go through what he's doing. But to me, the biggest thing is it tells me how much he cares, how passionate he is, right? That he puts that amount of effort, right? Because he's probably spending 10 times more time into his books than other writers are. He's not getting paid 10 times more for that effort. No, he wants it exactly how he wants it. He has a vision and he has, the gumption to go for it. And same thing with Miller, right? He took risks. He didn't take the easy jobs. He, moved away from Marvel and DC at times to do his own thing because he wanted to have his superheroes or his vigilantes a certain way. He wanted to go a different avenue and versus just like, I'll just take my paycheck. I'll do what they say. And hey, life's great. No, it's like, no, they gave so much of a shit that they became legends because of it. And I don't think we have enough of those, especially in modern day film and in comics.
No.
So.
Well, I think a large part of that has to do with the fact that most of these corporations, it's not a passionate love for them. It's just a business. I mean, they approach art like someone is approaching creating widgets in a factory. That's one reason why I like the Trump tariffs, because I want to bring factory jobs back to the States so that all these talentless jackasses that haven't a creative bone in their body will go back to managing factories and managing that work and get the hell out of the creative space, because good God, we have lost those jobs and the entertainment world is paying for it.
So there are a lot of writers that you think need to go back to widget manufacturing.
It's not even the creative people. It's all the executives that are managing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, I'm a manager. My business is human resources, and I work with people. And it's like, go to a factory line and manage those people, because you are killing entertainment.
I know, you're
forms.
Right.
I hate you. Yeah. I hate you. I kind of want you to die, and I hate saying that because I love Jesus Christ, but like, good Lord. And so I think that's because the thing is, and we see this in indie comics. We see people in indie comics, they treat the art, they treat the creative process like it's something that can be imported, like it's something that's made in a factory, like it's something made in a sweatshop, that's something. We saw that with Daily Wire's stupid little animated comedy that Adam Carolla did, which was was an affront, and I was really offended by, because it's like, it's just something that can be cobbled together somewhere, and then all we have to do is like do our part, right? And like, we're so special that our part's going to carry the thing that was cobbled together somewhere by people who don't give a shit,
right?
And I think that's one of the reasons why so much of our entertainment is suffering. That, and the politics.
Well,
but I think a lot of it
politics
is there's no love
or greed, and not creativity.
Yeah, it's totally agreed. Agreed. Yeah. And the sad part is that it's a myopic view of it, because while it'll maybe look good short term, budget wise, long term, I mean, these companies are failing, and their idea is to do more cuts. And usually what they do is they end up laying off the very people that actually probably could rescue the company, but they're like, we got to get rid of the really talented people because they're expensive. And I think that's going to be the downside to AI, because a lot of these executives who have no creative vision and no appreciation for the arts can think, now I could just hire a college kid out of school to type in some prompts, and it's going to be so great. And then when you see that Christmas commercial with the bears, the Coca-Cola bears, and you're like, why doesn't it feel the same? Why does it feel not? Why does it not feel as cute and cozy, and like, it's still cool, but it's like, it's not the same. Why? Because, dude, it's soulless, man.
In one example, and again, let's writing aside.
Yes, Mikey Goats, I am. No, sorry.
I think what's going on with DC is a perfect example, right? Because I think what's happening now is they're hiring people in silos, right? A writer just to write, a director just to direct, and then you have these executives that are not creative, like, oh, we'll hire this team to do the costumes, we'll do this team to do, photography, but there's no cohesion among all of them, because they're all disconnected and they're all being hired by people that don't know what the fuck is good. Versus, right, when you had Snyder running the show, essentially, he had specific costume designers, he had specific photographers, he had people that he had already worked with that he knew were tried and true, and he had them all working collaboratively because he knew what he needed for the end quality, especially visually, right?
And that's why it looks so good visually.
Right. And you look at Superman's costume today, it looks like complete shit.
I want to talk about that.
But real quick, like, why couldn't he pick a good script writer?
So I want to talk about that, because the video that I made about Superman's costumes is like exactly about that. Because when I was like examining like why the costume exists in each iteration of Superman, when you look at Snyder's take, the costume connects Clark to his dad, and that connects him to Krypton. So like the way that the suit looks is extraordinarily important from a storytelling perspective because it matches the suits that you see them wearing at the start of the film, that you see Jor-El wearing. So like it like from a storytelling perspective, the costume is extremely important. And so at the end of the video that I made, I was not trying to dump on the new film, and I'm not going to see it. I'm just not going to see it. Whatever. But
I'm seeing it Monday.
I hope you like
Let's
it.
go.
I can't.
Looking forward to it.
It's not out of protest. It's out of the fact that I have 3 toddlers. So
no, your life is not yours.
It's not mine right now. So
At all.
Yeah. But when
You're dead inside a little bit.
That's true. I ended my video asking what the hell is the story for the new costume, and I don't know because like looking at the costume, I don't like what is it? Is it? Did he make it? Does it look alien? It looks like it looks like it's made on Earth.
Probably.
It looks like it's made on Earth, but it looks like it was a movie costume. It doesn't look like it.
That chick ain't doing anything. She's a boss babe. She's not even making a sandwich. What's up with that?
I think Lois may have hired someone else to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what leapt out to me about that costume is that it looks out of place. It doesn't tell a story to me. So I think that you're probably right in the sense of like, I don't see how the people who were making the rest of that film had any say so in the costumes construction whatsoever. I feel like you're probably right. It probably was put together in a silo that's completely separate from every other part of that film because it doesn't seem to fit anything.
It's a lack of care for detail. And again, people like Nolan, like Snyder, like Dennis Villanueva, they're so anal about the detail. Every little detail, visually, whether it's script wise, everything again, it's just like more, right? I bet you their storyboards, their scripts and stuff are so detailed compared to other teams or individuals, right? But that's because they want to make a legendary film. They don't want to just get paid and be a name. It's not just a job to them. Like they are 100% passionate filmmakers.
Yeah.
But that's why their films do as well as they do. And that's why Miller and those did as well as they did.
Those Zack Snyder films could have some better scripts, though. I just,
didn't they?
I'm gonna kick that.
Jealous
dead
you
horse.
got to read.
I'm gonna punch that dead horse.
Now I'm jealous of you forever.
They I'm only just briefly curious about this, but the films all made money, right? Like they were all financially successful, just not successful enough.
Very successful.
Yeah. So they just said that you didn't make enough money, and that's why we're going in a different direction.
No,
they were all.
I guarantee you that's not what it was. I guarantee you that's not what it was. I guarantee
there was a lot of issues with Jeff Johns as well, and what he wanted, and some of the other.
A lot of ego.
There was a lot of fingers in the pie, trying to push Snyder out. So yeah.
I think one of the big issues, though, and I will say this is again beautiful films, but I think one of the mistakes that Warner Brothers has been making, and I think this is more on the executive level and representative of the executives at Warner Brothers than it is even with Zack Snyder, is their unwillingness to really lean heavily on the creators at DC. I don't think that they did. It's the same reason why Marvel is declining so at a rapid pace is because we liked the first gen MCU because it was really leaning on older tried and true popular material, and Kevin Feige decided that all right, we've been really successful, so now we're going to do all this new material, and rather than lean on Spider-Man that you just reacquired, and some of your more stable staples, you're like, no, let's do Ironheart and the Eternals, and because newness and stuff, and people go, oh, it's superhero fatigue. No, it's stupid decisions by executives, man.
Shitty movie fatigue.
It's not superhero fatigue. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit because they're bad now. So I'm fatigued from bad movies.
I'm also fatigued from horrible movies. Yeah.
And there has not been a good Spider-Man movie, like a really good Spider-Man movie ever. I'm sorry. Okay. There hasn't.
I mean, I wouldn't really dispigree with you.
There's
honestly.
been decent Spider-Man movies.
There are things that I like from each one, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't take any of them and be like, this is my Spider. I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
They're all a little disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
They're all like meeting a girl online and being like, damn, she's hot. And then when you show up to the date and you're like, oh, what?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What is is the sister so you're the sister
talking about all the conservative women influencers? I take it because it seems all of them.
I'm just talking about my dating life before I got married in LA. That was because I was too busy to like go out. So you did the online dating and you'd show up and you'd be like, wait, what? Where's the girl that I was talking to? Yeah.
Can I meet her?
But yeah, those the conservative influencers too. Good Lord. I'm shocked that there's so many of them that are single.
Mm-hmm.
God.
And mediocre looking.
You know,
all these people just like drooling over them, and it's like, have you stepped outside? Have you even went to the grocery store?
It's so sad.
Like,
they wouldn't be bad if they were like
Publix.
Here, the thing, the proper place for a woman is to be quiet and make a steak. So, like, if they did that, they would be perfectly fine and very attractive. But because they're not quiet and making steak, it's just the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. And the shrill voice doesn't help. But if a woman wants to make her, you want to have a good marriage, find a woman that's quiet and makes you a steak.
It does work.
But I'm very sexist. And I don't care.
Well, you don't have to anymore. So hey.
No, I don't, because I married a woman that's it's true. It's true.
Oh yeah, my wife is 100% more sexist than I am. She's way more sexist than I am.
Dude, my wife.
I need to step up my game to get to her level. I'm still climbing the ladder up to her.
Yeah, my wife is a giant. She's so sexist. She's like, oh my gosh, she's sexist against herself. She's like, I'm a terrible brat. I don't know why you married me. And I'm like, dude, have you seen how hot you are? I don't know why you married me, but okay, that's cool. I'm glad we're. The ultimate dating filter is a dark bedroom. And lots of alcohol, Jimmy. And lots of alcohol. I think that's why a lot of these women think that they can get better is because dudes are getting drunk, taking them home.
Michael, I'm so disappointed in you.
Then, they're like, I could get a guy that hot. No, you can't. Because he doesn't even like you. He was just 10 whiskeys in, girl. 10 whiskeys in. Michael Ferraro, I did not need to know that about you because I thought I liked you.
Look, the important thing is he said had. It was past.
To be fair, she has a heavy permanent filter on her face, so easily tricked. She's got the yoga pant effect on her face.
The yoga pant.
And that's dangerous.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of sad though.
See, this is the dangers of AI, right there.
Yeah.
It's what we end up with Melanie.
Oh no. The dangers of AI for women, though, are the fact that men are very soon going to be able to easily replace all you shrill, horrible women with whatever's going to be created with technology. So step up your game, ladies, because there ain't going to be any reason, especially with no fault divorce and the way that the family courts treat men. I mean, I count my blessings because I'm always like, Lord, thank you for my wife, because good Lord, the women are crazy. They are.
If anything ever happens to her, I'm just done. I'm not trying to get.
Oh no! If anything happens to her, I'm smoking again. I'm gonna smoke again. 2 packs a day, and I'm like, I'm coming, woman. I'm coming. Smoke all the cigarettes. Because people, when I say that, I'm like, if my wife goes before me, I'm smoking, and they're like, oh, that's it's somehow terrible. I go, no, I'm going to kill myself slowly with cancer sticks because I'm not dating again.
No,
freaking crazy.
No, I'll do all my writing, get all the scripts in there, and then just I'm
smoking and drinking whiskey.
He did his best work when he was trying to go back
You
to his
know?
wife.
Fuck, dude. Oh,
Uh,
I'll be mad the whole time too. You freaking left me. You freaking left me.
yeah. How dare you? You made me do this.
Oh, dude. Seriously, man. It's crazy. I just see these guys and I'm like, I'm not quite red pilled, but like, and people are like, oh, the red. I'm like, I get the red pill. I don't know why you guys are. There is a problem. There is a problem. And it's not getting fixed because these conservative women are just feminists in the slow lane.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, who was it? Tommy Lauren.
Oh my God.
She's like borderline like hard left. Even it's just like on a
She's
couple of
borderline-
talking points she gets wheeled out as like example of conservative. It's like, nah, come
That
on.
chick is, first off, let me just tell you something. That chick has more back acne than the 13-year-old that doesn't wash their face has on their face. Her ankles are freaking tree trunk cankles. Like they're just like the biggest ankles you've ever seen on a tiny person. And then her face looks like like the backside of a sponge, man. It's so like coarse and rough. And you're just like, who the hell's this chick to be lecturing any man about anything? You're not even worth looking at, man. You're not a six-pack, honey. You're like an entire giant bottle of Jameson before that's happening. Good Lord. And I'm not anything to take home. I'm sorry. I'm like on the verge of alcohol poisoning before that's ever happening. Because,
Filter's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, huh?
dude,
yeah,
so much. And she's like, so I'm friends with Dana Lash, and they used to work at Blaze together.
Oh,
And,
cool.
oh my
Okay.
gosh, the stories from like I had a couple of friends that used to work. I had a friend of mine that she was a camera person there, and that she's a horrible human being. Horrible human being. I'm sorry. We'll be a little gossipy for a second, but terrible person. And then you see our Pierce Morgan trying to debate what's the Andrew Wilson guy, and you're like, oh my gosh.
It was, yeah. It's just not, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. The women's there's something wrong with them. They're not, they should all be nice like Mandy Summers or Katie did. That's how women should be. Nice.
I don't
Things
know.
are definitely
I don't
different from
know
30,
any
40
other
years ago.
writers other than Mandy in the indie space.
Women
As far
writers?
as- yeah, I can't think of any.
Because women can't do anything. They should be making sandwiches and steaks.
Charlie's London. She's also a writer out of UK. She did like a Charlie Chapman book, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, that's a woman.
I mean, I don't know everybody.
Yeah.
Charlie's
obviously,
London's
so
a
that doesn't
woman?
mean much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just her
okay.
series, right?
Cool.
For
Seems like a really
Chapman, I
nice
think.
person, by the way. I mean, I haven't had
yeah.
any much interaction, but seems like a relatively nice, kind, fun, jovial soul.
Other than her, well, Rini.
Oh yeah,
Rainey-
yeah.
oh, yeah, Rainey's drawing or
artist
writing,
and- yeah,
Phoenix,
writing
right?
artist. Yeah, that's right.
And then there's one other one.
They'd all be happier making sandwiches for their husband. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's another one that did a series called Bonds, which was about like wolves, Eastern European lady. But that's, I think, like those four are about all I can think of.
Interesting. I know a
yeah,
handful
not a lot.
of female novelists, but not many that are writing comics.
Yeah, there's too many in female novelists.
That's all that's all that gets published now. It's like,
that's true. Yeah.
if you're a white straight male, they're like, we're not publishing your book. Are you kidding?
Yeah, isn't
There's
that
nothing
wild?
interesting about you. And it's like, I'm more interesting than these stupid people that's entire personality is built around their immutable characteristics.
I guess that's just what people want to read now is immutable characteristic fiction.
I don't care. And also, Snape is not anybody but Alan Rickman. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
They should have got Adam Driver. Learn to speak
Yeah.
English, Adam Driver, in an English way with an English accent, because you're Snape now. No, we're gonna get this guy. You're like, dude, come on, man. The thing is like when the book is describing the character as a pasty, white, weirdo goth guy, you kind of go, well, we've got to find a pasty, white, weird goth guy. You know, like what?
Did they ever have Superman with, occasional cross-eyedness and a baggy suit and like not jacked?
I think they
The
And,
there was
marketing's
one
really
book that
bad.
described him that way, but I don't think it was
The
canon.
wood book. So is he okay? So I
They
haven't
described
seen
him
much.
that way.
Is
You
he
didn't
is
see
he too
him that way.
skinny? Is he too skinny in the trailers? Is because the poster they backlit him and that just completely totally made him look frail and terrible.
He's bulky in real life. Like he's
Yeah.
he's got more of a
he
power
got
lifter
ripped.
build,
Yeah, he got big.
but
Yeah.
he doesn't have,
His suit looks like
he doesn't
ass,
have
though.
the
It doesn't
Cavill like
look.
he doesn't have a
right.
physique.
He's too
like
tall is probably what
cut
it is,
and-
right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It,
like I'm the same height as Henry Cavill.
like
So like him being yoked like that, my height, you're gonna look.
to me, Superman either has to be Cavill's build or Alan Ritchson's build, right? You either
Yeah.
have the super toned, you know, kind of V look guy,
Yeah.
or you have the
Oh yeah, Corn's
Frank
6'4".
Miller
Wow.
Superman, who is just super, super dense and bulky, right? But same with Batman. Like to me, like that's why Affleck and Frank Miller's,
Yeah.
look is just perfect. It's just
Yeah.
super freaking intimidating, right? Not like lean and kind of thin. It's like no, like have him be like look like a fucking
beast.
weapon,
Like a beast.
He
Yeah.
should
Mhm.
look like the perfect athlete. He should look like
Yeah.
a perfect athlete that could do every athletic thing needed to be done by.
Well, I
Batman.
think I think the suit's not helping. The baggy suit's not helping. The way it's shot very bright. That's also not helping because the brightness will make you look a little thinner because all the lighting on you. And
Flush
then the
him out.
movie posters and everything, they did that really hot backlight on him. So he's completely blown out and you don't even see, like, you just have all this hot light. So he looks way thinner than he is. The marketing is absolutely terrible. I am really annoyed with all these YouTubers that are like, they've been talking crap about the movie. And it's like, you haven't seen the movie. You're talking bad about the market because the marketing's terrible. And you're so illiterate as a human being. And all you know is algorithms and clickbait.
Yeah.
That it's I don't know how anyone watches it, but it's like, yeah, the marketing's terrible. The marketing for this movie is not good. It's really not good. I am curious which and if it is one of the studios that I used to work at, I'm sorry, but it's not good. But yeah, Andrew Campbell, I'm only taking 1 week off, okay? 2 days off. Damn it. I love Andrew Campbell though. He's a great guy.
Yeah, actually, I love seeing Andrew pop up. He's in a lot of streams I'm on.
He's so funny, dude. I got to get him on the show though because we got to get that Aussie accent in there and silliness, that attitude.
Of course.
Yeah, dude, I like hanging out with you guys. Everyone needs. We need to figure out a central location for a Comic-Con for everyone to come hang out at. Because
the people we like Comic-Con.
Yeah, the people we like Comic-Con. Because I'll go to that one.
Yeah.
I'll shake anyone's hand that's not an asshole. But I'm not shaking your hand if you're an asshole because I don't want you stink bombing me. I've seen mall rats, damn it. I've seen mall rats. And also, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun for sure. But it's like, yeah, it's tough. It seems everybody's like spread out all over the place for the most part.
Well, everyone should
most
just
people
come
are
to me because
Midwest or East Coast, but
have the convention in your house.
Have the convention. I mean, the thing is I don't like enough people to actually trust them to know where I live.
Right. Yeah. Your house
and also
just spread out someplace.
No one can hear you scream where I live, so remember that.
Well, then they'd have to trust you too. So then you got mutual trust issues, and
yeah, no, it's always funny because I'm always like, yeah, it's cool. You wanna get all toasty? I'm just letting you know, no one can hear you scream out here, but that's okay. And I like pew pews.
Well, yeah, America.
Yeah. No, I love not living in LA. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I left Los Angeles. Yeah. Dude, living and working in Hollywood it was really good in my early 20s and it got old. Like once I got married, it was like the fun went away like overnight. I was like, I hate everything. I hate everything. The Democrats have ruined everything. I hate the state. It's so expensive. I want to leave.
Yeah, I
You're
almost
one
moved
of,
out there last year. I'm glad it didn't end up
Oh,
happening.
did you really?
Oh wow.
For work, but luckily it ended up turning into a remote situation, thank God. So
Oh,
avoided that. So
Yeah, dude. If you had to move there, I would be like, bro, whatever they're paying you, make sure that they add about 35% to that if they want you
I
to.
know.
Because the taxes and the cost of living alone, like you can make such good money, and your taxes, like, because honestly, your taxes are going to be at least 50% with everything. You know, state income tax, federal income tax, cost of living, sales tax, blah blah blah, whatever. And then you're like, well, I still have quite a bit of money left over. Oh, the cost of living, friend.
Yep.
And then you're like, what little you do have left over, you end up spending because you're just trying to make up for the fact that you hate everything because it sucks living there.
Yep.
So you're like, I'm going on vacation. That's costing all my money. I'm doing this. That's costing all my money. I'm going to use money to make me happy because there's nothing that makes me happy here.
Yep, it's just pretty there. That's pretty much it.
It's
well,
not
weather
even
and pretty
anymore. It's not even pretty anymore. And the weather's
outside of LA, I should say.
The weather's really changing because they have ruined the environment because they don't take care of the land. Like I could go on and on and on, but it's not even as nice weather-wise anymore, and it's filthy because even like the area that I lived in, which was like a really nice suburb, like the last 2 years we were living there, like our house literally caught on fire because of homeless encampment. You know, it was like, dude,
that sucks.
Oh yeah, I was in Santa Barbara, which Santa Barbara's it's
yes,
historically beautiful, nice, but did not feel that safe because I was like, I was at a freaking McDonald's, and it's just the homeless person outside. Like I didn't know what was growing on her leg.
Oh my
And she was
gosh.
wearing like nothing, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh! Like,
Could you
this is
imagine
like
raising your family there?
Oh, I know.
And you're talking like one of the wealthiest areas, one of the most beautiful areas, and it's like, it's just it's bleeding outside of of LA, and it's just like all those areas that were insulated kind of are now becoming less and less insulated, and it's like,
yeah, because we lived in a really nice neighborhood, a pretty affluent neighborhood. And when we first moved in, I was really happy. I loved it. And then by the time we were leaving, man, like I said, like there was a homeless encampment, a fire ripped through our canyon, and our house caught on fire. I mean, thank God the fire department was able to put the fire out, so our house, was fine. But a couple of houses in our area got completely totally leveled. And then you thought, oh, maybe they'll wise up and do some stuff, in the community because people were getting really mad. And it's just like, no, Democrats run this shit. So it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Because when you let Democrats run something, when you let anybody run something after a while, for a long time, it gets bad. But Democrats have a special talent, mainly because they're demonic. The D is for demonic. The R is for retarded. It's really what it is. And I'm glad I live where I live now because it's not the best, but it's also not California.
True.
It's not California.
And we're getting in and out. So screw you, Democrats. Screw you.
I love that you have that corked ready to go every time.
Dude, you have no idea how much I live in and out, bro. So one of the studios I worked at was literally walking distance to an In and Out, and I ate there like twice a week, man. Especially when I was single, because it's cheaper than McDonald's, but it's 10 times better than Whataburger, and Five Guys, in my opinion. I know everyone, whatever. I love it, and so I'm sorry,
I'm a White
man.
Castle guy.
I've never had I've only had frozen White Castle.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like that, but it's fresh,
It's like that, but it's fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're ever up in the Midwest, then you'll find them there.
It's got the hole in the patty, right? They put the hole in the patty.
No, it's just steamed. Everything's steamed.
Mm-hmm.
Steamed?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
No, I don't want to say it melts in your mouth, but it's like I mean, they're called a slider for a reason, but they're just
Have you ever had an In-N-Out cheeseburger?
yeah. I liked it. I had that in Nevada when
Okay.
I was out there.
That's
I
my
liked
favorite.
it. I liked their fries.
It's my favorite fast
a
food
lot.
cheeseburger. It's my favorite fast food cheeseburger, like bar none. I'm obsessed with it. Like I literally, I grew up with it, and it's just like my favorite thing. And it's like the sushi and In-N-Out are like the two things I miss from living in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I'm getting In-N-Out, so I'm just like, fuck you, Democrats. I'm getting In-N-Out.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't normally drop the F-bomb. When it comes to Democrats, I will. Comes to Democrats.
I think we're only up to 2 so far on the stream, so we're doing pretty good.
I try to, I try.
Yeah.
It's hard because,
It can be.
I'm a salty shithead, but, dude, yeah. Anyway, AI. No, I don't know.
AI will never make a good burger.
That's
AI.
yeah,
You know
true.
what? I would rather AI get into the business of making burgers than making comics. I will be honest.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because I don't see how society is served best by art being created by computers.
Mm.
For a lot of reasons, mainly, mainly societal, mainly spiritual. I do think that AI is inevitable, and I think it's smart for people to learn how to use it and get good at it. But I do truly believe that AI will be our Tower of Babel for our society. It'll be our Tower of Babel moment. I think that it is going to ultimately be more destructive than it will be good, mainly because it's such a powerful tool, and our elites are terrible human beings. And they will use it like they've used social media to socially engineer us. They will use it to control us. And if you want to learn about what your future with AI will be, you should get my comic book, Silence Do Good.
For sure. And for all the other societal
recommendation.
issues, Vigilantes Creed will get you covered.
Yeah.
And if you're broke, you can get mine.
Because it's free.
Because it's free.
Well, and if you need gritty vigilante, then
There you go.
That's that bill too.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna. What's that?
I was like, where are you at? Do you tell people where you're at? Like at least what state?
Well, I'm in my third state in the last 3 years. I've moved 10 times in the last
Where are you
5
originally from?
Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Whereabouts in Michigan?
Farm country, north of Detroit. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So grew up on a farm. So, but now I'm in the deep south. So. Very, very deep south. So. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Maybe we're closer to each other than we know.
Maybe. We might be. Yeah.
We might have to do a meetup.
That'd be cool.
Hang out.
Yep.
That would be fun. The deep south, because I too am in the deep south.
Lots of
Are we in
gators
the
out
deep
here.
south? I guess we are in the deep south.
I mean,
you're-
I'm deeper than you.
Yeah, you're deep.
I think I'm the deepest.
Oh yeah.
Go. This is getting dirty sounding.
So you're like Florida? Are you in Florida? Oh,
Yeah, I'm way down there. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Cool, man.
I am a Tennessean, which I tell people. I'm pretty open about. I don't show my family, but I'm open about my state, and my name is my name. I'm in Tennessee. Okay, so if anyone wants to mess with me, I don't think you should, because I'm in Tennessee. So
yeah, exactly.
Likewise with Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I live in a red state now, and
right.
I used to train a lot in California with neutered firearms, and now I no longer have to train with neutered firearms.
I just
train with the real ones. Okay.
Yep.
So leave that to your imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a book coming out, and now all the reference might be real.
Yeah, I remember. Whenever I haven't shopped for guns in a while because
you have kids.
An
entire tribe.
I would be like, "Oh, it's California compliant. What does that mean?" And I look at it. What? That's
Bro.
horrible.
Bro. So they're like California has a list. Number one, like they have this list, and it's totally unconstitutional. But they have a list of pistols that you can get, right? And in order for a pistol to be on that list, a gun company has to submit their firearm to this California board of whatever, blah blah blah, so that they can pass all these safety inspections. And they add every year. They always add something new. Like now, if it's a new firearm, it's got to have like a little plastic thing that pops up when it's loaded, so it lets you know like your firearm's loaded, and it has like it's all this terrible stuff. And then if the firearm changes anything, like there was one time where like Springfield Armor was making a 1911 and it was on the list, and then they were like, oh, people don't like this grip, so they changed just the rubber grip, and they went from a rubber
over
grip
the
to like
grip they had to resubmit?
And they're like, oh, you got to resubmit it. And Springfield's like, yeah, no, we're good. Glock was like, oh, we changed the trigger, and they're like, nope, got to resubmit. And then like Glock had a version, and then they were like, oh, we're going to make an FDE version. It's the same firearm. We're like, well, it's a different color, so you got to submit. And it's like a super expensive process. So the list is really, really small of the available pistols that you can get. And then you got all these rules around, rifles and semi-automatic rifles, what kind of stock it can. And it's just like this. It's all unconstitutional, and there's constant lawsuits. But the Ninth Circuit of the Supreme Court, is really bad. And it's totally communistic, fascist. It's the same it's the two sides of the same coin. And it's really nice to not have to deal with any of that. They also have the 10-day waiting period. Like, so you go buy a firearm, you got to do this extra background check. They register all the long guns now, not just the handguns, and they have a state registry. And then you have to wait 10 days to get your firearm. And it's like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm Irish and Italian, dude. I can hold a grudge way longer than 10 days. Like, what they call it, like a cooling off period or whatever. And it was like really like one of the first things I did when I moved down here was, I'm my wife, I'm going to go buy a firearm. She's like, of course you are. So we go, and I wanted to get a handgun because it was like the list of handguns I could get was very, very small. And there was a handgun I wanted. And I was actually going to work with one of my cop buddies to get it, like we were going to have like do some things to work around the system, because cops can get whatever they want,
of course,
because that's totally just and constitutional.
Absolutely.
Feudalism. So I go to buy the gun, and I do all the the paperwork, and it's like it takes like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes to do everything, where it took like hours in California. And they're like, all right, here you go. They hand you the firearm, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I could leave. Right. Okay. Yeah. No one's stopping me. I can leave. It was so weird, man. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
You have to do a background check to get ammo, BA. A background check to get ammo.
Doesn't surprise me.
Like I went to the range. So I went to go visit my family and friends, because obviously I saw tons of family and friends in California. And my buddy was like, let's go to the range. And I was like, all right, I guess that sounds fun to go to the range in California, but cool. So we go to the range, and then I'm like, oh, I need to get ammo because I only have the ammo that I need to protect my family, with me. I don't have range ammo, because why would I be driving around with range ammo? So we go to, and they're like, oh, you have to have a California driver's license to get ammo, because we have to do a background check. And I was like, huh? What the hell? And then my buddy's like, oh, let me get the ammo. And he has an expired driver's license, so then he can't get ammo. And then I'm like, wait, you didn't bring any ammo? So it's just like, we're at the range. None of us could get ammo because the state's lame. I gotta make like a baby and head out.
Well, yeah, I have to do the same here. I got to get up in like 5.5 hours. So,
oh no.
Well,
but
I appreciate you sacrificing sleep to hang out with us in the chat.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely. No, we got to do this again. No, it's fun to have.
This was fun.
I need to. I say this almost every stream. I need to get in the habit of doing more group streams, bringing more people on. I'm just not good at like
asking,
doing that, like reaching out, organizing. Right. And plus, it's always like I try to do it like every Thursday, but I mean, Frost, like when you get kids, you get like sometimes like okay, I don't know until 2 hours before if I'm doing it that night. And then the next day I might do it, but I might not. So it's like I can't string people along. It's like I'll
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just send a link like right before, like, hey, if you're free, feel free to
Right.
jump on.
Yeah.
But it's in 15 minutes, so if you can't, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
It's the way
Yeah.
it
Well,
is.
anytime I'm available, I'll totally come on, dude. And
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll be on your show next
I'll
week. Right?
make you
Oh,
a
cool.
thumbnail.
Cool.
I'll make you a
Yeah.
thumbnail.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Oh, Frost, are you going to be there too for Tuesday? Everyone that's watching,
Probably. Yeah.
next Tuesday.
Yeah, there we go.
If there's a mod, please, Frost, maybe you could link it in the chat, the channel.
Yes.
Come by Tuesday, 9:00 Central,
1
10 p.m.
second.
Eastern for BA Frost on the Salty and Savage show.
I'll find it. I'm a
And
mod.
you will have a good time because it's a good time.
Yeah.
Are
Looking
you a
forward to it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan at all, BA?
Of course, yeah.
Awesome. You will definitely like the top 5.
There we go.
Did I share it? Yeah.
Yeah. Go
There we
check that
go.
link out. Link it. Hit the subscribe button. Check
Mhm.
us out.
Yeah.
Please do that. I appreciate it. I think BA would appreciate it, and Frost would.
I
too.
also appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make Frost our like Ed McMahon for our show.
Nice.
Right.
Where he just sits there and goes, "Yes,
Right. Yeah. I'm practicing. I'm getting better.
No, I mean we are definitely more than just Ed McMahon, but he's like our Andy Richter. He's like our Andy Richter.
There you go. That works. I'm just the guy that smiles in the background a lot, and then every once in a while goes on a
You know,
rant.
he has a
We
gem
just capture
every
you.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Need the BA react. Boom.
Yeah, like, you bring up Snyder, and it's like, okay, let's go. We got energy. Come on, guys. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Oh, so funny, man. I do appreciate the fact that you allow some room for diversity on the Snyderverse and aren't a complete total, oh my God, because that's what always drives me nuts is like when people just don't leave any room for any other opinion. And you're just like,
yeah.
dude, come on, man. It's art, man.
And
art.
likewise, it's like, look, like I'm not looking forward to. I'm not a fan of really Gunn's directing style or writing style, but I will say, like, I enjoyed the first 2 Guardians. There are aspects that I like. These are the aspects. This other stuff, not so much. But yeah, there are people where it's like, especially when it comes to Snyderverse, where it's like everything was dog shit. There's not a single good thing. It's like,
Oh yeah,
are you blind? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry. The
That- yeah,
costume, the
I don't-
visuals, you can't deny some of the quality aspects. Writing, that is subjective to an extent. I can understand you may not like a darker, grittier Superman. That's fine. That's preference stuff. But you can't tell me there was nothing good about his films. You can't.
Yeah.
Well, people seem to really struggle with looking at things objectively if they personally
Mhm.
dislike it, and
Mhm.
I don't know. It seems to be really prevalent in a lot of the indie creators I know, where they just take a really hard line stance on something, and they cannot recognize that even if they don't like this or that, there are
Mhm.
still quality. Like Salty's criticizing the script, but he's still like, yeah, but the visuals are, and so people. Like I appreciate that about you guys, I guess is what I'm saying, and I don't know why
Mhm.
more people don't have a position like that. I guess.
Well, I think a lot of the times it has to do with the fact of whether or not you're yourself are a creator and you're always because I think
yeah,
and let me be a intellectual arrogant douchebag for a second, but like when you are a creator, you kind of do look at things a little bit more like there's something to like. I don't know. You look at it a little bit more neutral or a little bit more open-minded, I guess. I don't know. And also, I think that for me, at least, nothing is sacred, like in the world of fiction. You know what I mean? Like, I know people like have their sacred cows and they're like, it has to be this way and it has to be that way. And you see that a lot, especially like in gaming, like Fallout, Fallout 1 and 2 are the only good Fallouts. And it's like, well, I really like 3 in New Vegas, and I like 1 and 2. So I think it's also just a bit of just not necessarily having any sacred cows, I think is really kind of helpful as well. But the one thing that I will be hardlined on, like super like viciously hardlined on to the point where I might get a little crazy is modern day World of Warcraft is an affront. It is disgusting. And I think it needs to die in a fire.
Like you're not a fan of like the magic wheelchairs, or
good Lord, they have ruined a once wonderful game, and it's sad. But everything has to die eventually, and it is time for World of Warcraft to die.
including this show. So BA can sleep.
Sorry,
No, you're good. We'll continue it next Tuesday on Salty's
That's right.
channel.
That's
All
right.
right, man. Yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Thank you for having me on, man. By
Thank
the way,
you for having me on. It was a blast.
Dude, of course.
fun time, man.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of your night. Right now, I'm getting a black screen, so I don't even know if I'll be able to end this stream without guessing where the button is. I don't know what's going on.
Stream is going to be 19 hours long, and it's going to be about 17 hours of a black screen. So
But it's funny because as I move the cursor, some things highlight. So we're gonna see what happens here if it ends. So might take a little while. I think I found the end stream button.
Oh, dude, I know. StreamYard is really weird now.
Okay, I found it. I'm gonna click it. So you guys have a great night.
take it
Thank
easy,
you,
Jack.
chat, for being
Bye,
here.
guys.
Later.
Good night, guys. God bless.